Alright, we are back. I'm extra stuffy this morning, so forgive the nasal quality. We've been instructed to talk to Yu Hase about the investigation into the spy in the Immortal Flames. There you are, Asuka. Commander Levier instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Uldar, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nearly a moment ago I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danafin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. Alright. Let's go. Guess we have to deal with some more heretic stuff before we get back to the investigation into the traitor. There's a hurt person. Thor's balls, my ankle is on fire. Caught my foot on a rock or something, and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead through Danafin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. I think we'll be fine. We have a map marker. Looks like we're gonna look for footprints anyway. There's another member of the third unit. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. There was a great scale beast and Yu Hase. I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. Alright. Uh-oh, Yu Hase's in trouble. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching for the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest. And lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Alright, I'll do your job for you. Oh look, a suspicious curtain. I am through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those bluecoats. and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Well, stay with her then if you think you'll fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Oh, it's you, Giri. Let your lands have a thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it has drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will. We shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all. Fancy meeting you here, Asuka. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither. What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alfido is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is a most generous offer, Lady Yugiri, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Asuka, let us wait inside for Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. Alright. Captain Ilbert seems confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Tendrils of intrigue. They're just talking without dialogue. Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortemps. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider, then, that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Rauban's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flame's establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked, and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the three grand companies, Uldar's was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa, Lominsa, and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones mind, under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Uldar's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Rauban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed. And given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier then than now, The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monarchists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Nail Darnas's ambition been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Rauban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Ahem, returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich informing him of our success in identifying the heretics and betters. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. Time for what? An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Asuka. As the realm's stoutest champion, it is only meet that you would be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Okay. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. In Philia, the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the council meeting. Meet me at Nofika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Okay. to the Lotus stand. There you are. My thanks for coming, Asuka. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the Lotus stand. I am aware. Please let me in.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader, not so his uncle.
So, young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
That is certainly a hat.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cardinal dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the Ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust among the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little unless to the common folk. Take the Lominsons, for instance. Though Admiral Merwin outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. And likewise, the Gridanians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Uldons scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Uldon society, Teleji Adeleji, for example. But that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict in Cottonelle is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the Observatorium, Captain Ilberd has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate has lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Asuka. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilberd near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kurthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Cool. What would be extra cool is if literally any of the things I was doing to make my nose not stuffy were working. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. I can do that. Chasing Ivy. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Eileen Royal. That's a lot of vowels. Raubhan's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Rauban chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The Monitorists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the alliance. Yet the Monitorists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Vowels was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy had some hold over the Monitorists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Rauil's presence here and now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Rauban attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Rauil's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have been watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely on your eyes, Scion? Yes. I will help you catch this spy. You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. Over by the Aetherite Plaza. Rauil is headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. Kinda wish that being stuffy wasn't preventing me from being as smarmy as Ilberd actually is. So, Rauil has entered the Carline Canopy, meeting someone perchance, or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she is not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Ephemia is her name. I shall remain here in case Rauil reappears. Is she up here? No. Let's go talk to Ephemia. Asuka Hassenpfeffer, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? Ahem, a social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she did not come this way. I've noted every passenger, and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Alright, back upstairs to Ilberd. As opposed to Healthy Bird. Badumch. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you're sure she did not board an airship? Humph. She did not come back out, either. Where the seven hells could she have gone? The roost! How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Mud-Tai tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning, hey hey. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of the West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Oh, cool. One of the Doman ninjas, Sar. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Raoul would have disappeared without a trace. Yes? There, switch it up. In flagrante delicto. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Raoul's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You'll doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. We could just teleport there. Sort of. Car takes up the whole dang screen. This way, my friends, says Yugiri from off-screen. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorne hut. If Raoul is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we have installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Raoul would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elizin are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices, and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch Raoul in the act. Let's do it. Oops. My people report that our quarry has departed for the bramble patch. The ivy returns to the gnarls whence she came, but perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets her Garlean masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. to the bramble patch then. There's Geary again. Just beyond, Raoul is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An Imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me. Yes. Nods. Flame Marshal Aline Raoul, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool! Damnation! You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle, but if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then? Very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now, come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. We got her, folks. How you, Gary? Even a warrior of Raoul's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness of her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Ul'dah will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Asuka? Go back to trying to fight Iceheart. So, the Scions seek a way to Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, you have been training in the art of the shinobi, have you not? The change in your bearing is quite evident, to me at least. I look forward to seeing you in action. Till next time, my friend. Let's return to the Rising Stones. Lest you be mistaken, this is huge Ubert, not small Ubert. Look, I see a pun, and I need to make it. He's doing it. Totter is juggling a knife, an axe, and a bottle of some sort. Papalimo and Y'shtola are just watching. Like, what if she hurts herself, guys? You're just gonna... Alright. Welcome back, Oscar. I understand that Elfido had a task for you. May I ask what it was? All of the things we just did. Charges of treason and espionage against Aline Raoul. I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust to the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report we have made progress in your efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Progress? A simple plan. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcliff to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. I mean, I would assume it can be described. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystals she stole from the House Fortem's caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint. But if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Ethernet and follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we've been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetheryte to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetheryte upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Charlian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap, we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. Okay. We can do that. Tataru, please be safe. This Elizabeth right here isn't true. She's a fallacy. Okay, I'll stop making puns about people's names. I'm kidding. You know I won't. There's a chocobo cart. I bet it has our new friend.
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
She's also an Archon, as noted by the tattoo on her neck.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then. We have much to discuss. Let us. Still juggling. Cutscene.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
They're not actually sisters.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Peppa Lemo? That was mean.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Urianger, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
As you might have guessed, they have a history.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on. Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it, then? Your missing aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an aetheryte not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second aetheryte to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetheryte's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetheryte, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the aetheryte.
It's true. I saw it with my own eyes.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
Guess who has to go do
That's
the
the
dangerous
spirit.
teleporting?
Let's roll the dice.
What have you for me, Minvilia? The instruments of our deliverance. I have already informed Alfino of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbreeder described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you've done on our behalf, Asuka, and that I have faith you will return to us, as you always have. We will teleport to Dragonhead, since it's the closest one to Snowcloak. But for now, that is where we will call it on this video, and we'll head over to Snowcloak in the next one.